I've always been a big fan of Seraph. I think he's top 3, top 4, top laner in the league right now.
He's like picking like really fresh champions. He's just playing really well, damage champion.
Seraph in the back line deletes Apollo. Oh wow, Seraph destroys Swooshy.
I was the strongest top laner in the beginning of Spring Split.
And a pentakill for Hoonie.
Hoonie, I think he has a better mechanic than me, but I think I play more smarter than Hoonie. If I just work hard, I should be just the best top laner in the NA.
Welcome everyone out in Streamland to the LCS studio in Los Angeles, California, where we're coming to you live with a packed house full of eager fans who can't wait to get this Saturday of league action off the ground. We got plenty of action-packed matches coming your way. First up will be EnVy arriving at the studio just a short time ago before they go up against Immortals and Hoonie, who will be in that top lane against Seraph. That's going to be quite a matchup between those two powerhouses in the top lane. Next up, Echo Fox arriving to the studio. They'll be playing in the Battle Theater up against our defending champions, Counterlogic Gaming. Darshan here looking to help net his team some more wins, with CLG sitting a bit further back in the standings than they'd like, in all honesty. But the season is young. Hello, friends. I'm James Dash Patterson, and lending his analytical expertise to the desk today is Mark Zimmerman. Just you and me. You think we can hold it down?
Yeah, I'm excited to be back. The desk is back. Orders restored. Everything.
I know you were terrified, Mark.
Yeah, on Twitter, I was like, oh god.
He's hitting me up all day yesterday. Is the desk coming back?
Yeah.
Do I have to? I don't know what to do with my hands if I don't have a desk.
I have paper now. I have a desk. I'm comfortable.
We're good. All right. As long as you're good, we're good. Last night, TSM won their 5th straight match, placing them at the top of the standings. TSM has always competed for the title of North American champions, and this split has been their best start ever.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really dominant streak for them. They look like they know exactly what they're doing. In a lot of these games, it's not just that they're outplaying people, they're making really good macro decisions. Specifically in that game 3, pretty much all their advantages came from making good team strategic decisions. And obviously they're playing mechanically well, too. You see it in a lot of these team fights, they're just playing these so well. Like, their Honsters going in, beasting up, taking a ton of damage. They're playing incredibly well.
Yeah, as a team, only dropping 2 games, but undefeated when it comes to matches. Each and every member of that team stepping up at different times to prove, rather, that they can carry the team. Biofrost seems to have just kind of slipped into the team without any issue. I mean, for the most part, it's not that we haven't seen minor mistakes from him as an individual player, but his assimilation into the team and the way that they're playing with him as a whole unit has been very impressive compared to past iterations of TSM.
Right, when you bring in a new player, especially a rookie like that, you're just hoping that they don't blow the team up and like make huge mistakes all the time, but he's actually playing really well. He's contributing in huge ways. His Bard has looked phenomenal. It's like pulling bans, which is something that as a rookie, if you're bringing that kind of stuff in, it's huge.
And Double seems to be very happy playing an aggressive bot lane once again. Now, though, it's time to take a look at the other undefeated squad in Team EnVy. Now, this is one of our rookie squads, one of our newcomers, but they have done nothing but impress since joining the league.
Right, I think this is going to be their first real test, really going up against Immortals today. Obviously, at 4-0, they're looking dominant. But it's against lower tier teams that haven't really performed yet in the season. So this is the first true test. We know that they perform as a team very well. They have Seraph leading the charge, but their next 4 matches.
This is their previous 4, showing that kind of strength of schedule point here, in that the only team that has a 500 record or above that they've beaten would be that Apex squad. Their next 4 matches, as you mentioned, being Immortals, CLG, TSM, and Cloud9. That's an insane gauntlet of games that these guys are going to have to run through in order to continue to compete for that top spot. Now, though, it's time to take a little talk about the champions we're seeing around the Rift. So my question to you, which champions have caught your eye so far this split?
I think Aurelia is the one that I'm really excited to see. She's a bit of a playmaker, a damage dealer in the top lane as opposed to the traditional tanks. And I think what's really interesting is her coming back has brought in other champions too. Like Shen is a very popular pick into the Aurelia, which, you know, if it was still just purely tanks, I don't think you would have seen him. But with the Aurelia coming into play, it is something that we're seeing a lot more. So not just with Aurelia, but all the things she brings.
And of course, you've seen the Trundle pop in as well. And given the QSS changes, he's seen a lot of success. Just because, all right, now in the 1v1, I'm not gonna lose my ultimate every single time.
Right. I mean, that was definitely something that once people start realizing I can just build QSS and I negate his entire ultimate. It's 1,200 gold to get rid of someone's R. It's a pretty good trade-off.
Now that being said, do you have any thoughts on Fiora? We haven't seen it too much here in NA, but did see it last night in Korea, used by Someday on KT to some serious damage.
I think the thing about Fiora is she always looks like either amazing or horrible. Like if you get ahead and you're like crapping on people in the split push, taking turrets, solo kill, get into a team fight, blow up a backline, looks crazy. You fall behind, you can't push people in, you can't go into a team fight, you're too squishy, and it really is this kind of like hit or miss pick. But when you see someone who's an expert on the champion going off in a game, it's a thing of beauty. So
very sink or swim, but no doubt the top lane meta has been exciting to watch. Now before we get into today's games, let's take a recap of the standings. TSM once again has sole possession of first place, but Team EnVy is close behind, followed immediately by Immortals and Cloud9. Apex and Liquid are just ahead of the three-way tie for 7th, and Phoenix 1 is going to round out the bottom of the league. Let's see which teams are battling today on the Rift. LCS 1 starts with Immortals and EnVy's match, and stay locked in for Liquid's clash with Energy right after that. And over in the Battle Theater, defending champions CLG take on Echo Fox before Phoenix 1 looks for their first win against Apex later in the day. That's LCS 2. Looking at these matchups, we've already touched on the EnVy Immortals matchup. Of the other three, which teams are you looking at to prove something today?
I like the Echo Fox CLG one. Both at 1 and 3. CLG is struggling. Echo Fox is struggling. One of them is going to get a win here. And with that three-way tie at 7th place, I really want to see it start breaking up a little bit. We've seen TL grab a win. They're going against Energy, another 1 and 3 team. So there's a lot of these. We'll start seeing some differentiation in the bottom, like we've seen in the top already.
Yeah, Team Liquid coming off of 4 game wins straight, however, against lower tier teams. So this will be another test for them, see if they can kind of keep that streak running. We're always on the lookout for the day's biggest plays, but we need you to help us out. Whenever you see a massive outplay, crazy team fight, or awesome moment, be sure to tweet about it, using hashtag LCS Big Plays. We'll be monitoring the feeds to highlight the biggest moments from today's games at the end of the show. Now, last week, we announced that Canada would play host to the North American LCS Summer Finals. On August 27th and 28th, you can watch the best teams in the region battle for the crown at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, June 22nd, so mark your calendars. And for more information and purchasing details, head over to lolesports.com/tickets. And if Toronto is a bit too far for you, the regular season tickets for the Battle Arena and Battle Theater are also available at lolesports.com. So grab some friends, head on down to LA for your weekly dose of live LCS entertainment, and come hang out with us. Anyway, that's going to do it for us at the desk, so let's send it over to the casters to get us into the games.
Thanks,